1MDB has sparked embezzlement and money laundering investigations across
one of the
at least
biggest
10
corruption
countries.
scandals the world has ever seen.
What may be the biggest financial scam in history.
A number of corrupt 1MDB officials treated this public trust as a personal bank account.
Follow us as we bring you into the courtroom where the biggest financial scandal in Malaysian history is being heard. By the Malaysian Insight, this is the Najib Razak 1MDB trial, and I'm Patrick Teo. 1MDB's failure to do proper due diligence led the company into being deceived in a spectacular manner. Najib Razak's lawyer, Shafee Abdullah, observed that the company must have been run by a bunch of idiots to have fallen into so many pits. The lawyer said this in response to the witness's reply that no due diligence was done in a $6 billion deal which saw 1MDB send funds to the wrong company. Najib's 1MDB trial resumed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court on August 4, 2020. The former Prime Minister was found guilty of 7 charges in relation to money laundering, criminal breach of trust and abuse of power in the SRC International case. SRC was a subsidiary of 1MDB. In the witness stand today was a man who has been there for the past several weeks, former 1MDB CEO Shahrul Haumi Azral. Najib's lawyers estimate that they will be able to conclude their questioning of Shahrul in 2 weeks' time. Questioning Shahrul this morning was Najib's lead counsel Shafee. Shafee began by asking Shahrul about the deals 1MDB made with Abu Dhabi's International Petroleum Investment Company, or IPIC, ABA and ABA BVI. Now, you may think that ABA and ABA BVI are the same company, but they're not. The similarity in name was designed to deceive, and 1MDB bought right into it. ABA BVI masqueraded itself as part of Abu Dhabi's wealth fund, but in reality it wasn't. It was an offshore company incorporated in the British Virgin Islands and was controlled by businessman Low Tek Joe, or Joe Low. The actual investment company was ABA Investments PJS. This was the subsidiary of IPIC and should have been the recipient of 1MDB's money, but instead 1MDB sent $1.6 billion to ABA BVI. You were going into a $6 billion deal and you didn't think it was prudent to check if the two ABAs were the same? Shafee asked the witness. No, we didn't do any formal due diligence for these companies, Shahrul answered. We didn't because we were confident. We expected that Goldman Sachs would have done due diligence, being a paid agent. Another reason Shahrul said he did not suspect ABA BVI was because of Kadem Al-Kubaishi, IPIC's managing director. I was familiar with him, Shahrul said. He had been involved in previous 1MDB deals. In the end, no one checked which ABA was real, and 1MDB sent its money to the wrong one. In response to Shahrul's answer, Shafee said that 1MDB must have been run by a bunch of idiots to have fallen into so many pits. Shahrul, in response, said he'd rather not comment. After a short break, Shahrul's questioning continued, this time by defense lawyer Wan Aizuddin Wan Muhammad. The lawyer asked Shahrul about the Tun Razak Exchange Project, or TRX. The witness said that ABA was interested in jointly developing TRX. Goldman banker Tim Leisner suggested that 1MDB proceeded with the project with funds from ABA. Joe also informed Shahrul of ABA's intention and assured him that IPIC would write Najib a proposal for this. This, by the way, was the fake ABA, ABA BVI. A letter from IPIC arrived in November 2012 confirming as much. It added that the development would be a joint venture. Najib agreed to it and put 1MDB Board of Directors Chairman Lodin Wok Kamarudin in charge. IPIC suggested that 1MDB raised $1.5 billion to fund the JV. Sharrow said that the initial budget for the venture was $6 billion, but that amount was slashed in half. But the witness doesn't know why. Sharrow said he sent a letter to Najib on January 13, 2012. In it, he explained the requirement for a letter of support to raise the $3 billion bond issuance. That very same day, Najib minuted the letter and instructed the Ministry of Finance to take action quickly. 2 months later, 1MDB received a letter of support from the ministry. Sharrow said this was all in line with Joe's plan. He had told Sharrow not to worry. Boss will bulldoze. He was of course referring to Najib, who was Prime Minister and Finance Minister at the time, said Sharrow. One Izzuddin suggests that the JV deal was in fact a scheme to embezzle money from 1MDB together with Joe Low. Sharrow disagreed. He did, however, agree that 1MDB and Najib had indeed been misled and deceived into believing that the TRX deal would be beneficial to 1MDB. And with that, court adjourned for the day. This podcast was brought to you by the Malaysian Insight. It is produced, written and mixed by Revati Supramaniam with additional reporting by Kamlis Kumar. I'm Patrick Teo.